Well, hello everyone. This week we're going back to the island of Maui, and this time we're going to go diving with hammerhead sharks. So we go out to Lahaina, we connect up with Lahaina divers, and we go out along the west Maui coast and across the channel over to the island of Molokai. And off the tip of Molokai is a rock called Elephant Rock. It looks like an elephant laying down, and that's where we went diving. Now, we dropped off Bob, who's been diving there for 50 years with a rebreather all by himself, but the rest of the group, we got in the water right around this area here, and then we did a drift dive across the edge of the rock and then down out into the open blue. But one of the dive teams was not able to make it because of bad current, and they were pushed up against the rock. So needless to say, we had a very interesting time diving with the hammerhead sharks off the coast of Molokai. We left the tranquil shores of Maui and we were on our way on the dive boat. And so next we had to get our briefing from our captain. It was very in-depth. He's very knowledgeable. He's been diving here for 10 years. So here we go.
Don't just focus on the reef. Don't just focus below you. Look all the way around while we're diving. Look up, look down. You'll see I'm just like on a top when I'm diving. I'm all over the place, looking around, spinning, because you never know where it's going to show up. I've had whale sharks swim overhead while we're out there. No one noticed them because they weren't looking up. Humpback whales, they've come by as well. Manta rays, spot eagle rays, like I said. We've had tiger sharks out there. You never know what's going to show up, but if you don't open your eyes and keep your head on a swivel, you're going to miss a whole lot out there. So be watching where we are, what's going on. And like I said though, please keep your eyes open for all the little stuff too. Nudibranchs, great place for those. The blue dragon nudibranch especially. These guys are really cool. Their rhinophores are in sets running all the way down their body. They look like a dragon. They have about 100 different rhinophores running down their back, which is their lungs. And they're bright blue. And we'll be looking for those guys. They hang out on the reef. Typically not one that we see common. All right, on the back wall of Molokai we see them, but out at Molokai, everywhere. So keep your eyes open for them. Octopus, they hang out on that reef too. But I consider them pretty much the chocolate of the ocean. So everyone loves to eat them. So they keep themselves a pretty low profile out here. Not like the ones in the northwest that eat the sharks when the sharks swim by. But these guys are little tiny ones, so everyone likes to get a little nibble on them. So we'll keep our eyes open for the octopus while they're hanging out on the reef. All other types of rare fish, the Tinker's butterfly fish. I haven't seen him. A lot of other people have. There's only one other place that I know of in Maui County that we've ever had a Tinker's butterfly fish, and it's on the backside of Lanai over there. And this guy's so rare that unfortunately we had someone with the aquarium come out diving with us. When we went back to that site the next week, the fish was gone. You see the dance like John Travolta down there? You know what's going on. Look for the banded hazelfish. They're swimming around down there. So, all other types of critters out there. If you want to know what they are, I keep a slate on me most of the time unless I forget it on the boat. So, point it out. I'll write down its name. If I don't know its name, I'll make up a really cool name. Never tell you any better. But I do have lots of reference books down here. So, we should be able to figure out what it is. And if I don't know what its name is, it probably doesn't exist, all right? Just a figment of our imagination down there. So, keep your eyes open for all those different critters down there. If there's something really exciting down there, you're going to see me doing the gopher from Caddyshack. I'll be dancing around with shotguns going everywhere. That's usually my shark dance or anything else that's really rare.
So about a 1 hour boat ride, and we arrived at Elephant Rock, and we were briefed that this was kind of like a black ops dive. I mean, we were going to do it Navy SEAL style. They lined us up in the back of the boat, yelled dive, 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 and the next thing you know, we were all jumping in the water, so we didn't get separated as a result of the heavy current and drift that was out there. Dive masters are in the yellow jerseys, and there's two teams. Now think about this, I just jumped into the waters where one of the biggest groupings of hammerheads known are. What was I thinking? And it wasn't long before the hammerheads appeared. They come out of the blue, and this one swam right underneath me. You can see he turned his head and put his eyeball. I was looking right at his eyeball as he looked at me, and these are about 10, 12 foot long. These are 500, 600, 700 pound animals. They're huge. And he did a little circle and came back around. But as one came, we were told that there's maybe 30, 40, 50 of them out in the blue where you can't quite see them. And they would send them in as scouts just to kind of see who we were. And fortunately, we were not on the menu, but they were all around us, and it was quite fascinating. And of course, along the reef, we saw some beautiful fish. The colors in this area are just staggering. They're so bright, and so beautiful, and so diverse. And you can hear all the whale noise now, because there are whales all around us. So we drifted out into the deep blue, way past the island, and that's where we were picked up as we came up. And next I'm going to interview Bob, who's been diving here for 50 years with a rebreather just before he goes in the water. This guy is fascinating, all by himself with a hammerhead.
Tell me about some of the things you're looking for down there. Sharks attacking other sharks. How often does that happen?
It happens probably 2 or 3 times a year. I'll see something like that.
Is it the same species of shark?
Usually interspecies. The hammerheads pretty much rule the area. They're huge.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, some of them are well over 1,000 pounds. They're just absolutely.
How long are they?
Anywhere from 9 to 14 feet. Occasionally a little bit larger than that. But that would be very rare.
Are they ever aggressive towards you?
Not normally, but it can happen. They are large animals, and of course they're all among the most dangerous animals in the world. But that being said, the type of equipment I'm wearing allows me to become a human marine mammal.
And how is that? Explain.
Well, I'm diving with a fully closed circuit mixed gas rebreather, and I'm using a mix of gas that involves oxygen, helium, and nitrogen. And I'm able to change the mixture at will while I'm down there, the partial pressure as well as the mixture to some extent. And I can go places where you can't normally go with conventional scuba equipment.
So how does that protect you if the shark becomes aggressive?
Well, it doesn't necessarily protect me other than the fact that I don't make any noise, I'm not generating any bubbles, and so they tend to treat me more like part of the scenery down there, so they come much closer. They'll get right up next to me. To have a shark right up next to me is not unusual. To have a 1,000-pound shark within arm's reach is fairly normal.
And what do you do at that point? Just relax? Do you do any? Is there a certain body configuration that you look big? Do you look like you're on the top of the food chain, or do you shrink back?
Actually, believe it or not, I'm always very relaxed. It's very calming for me to be down there doing this.
And how long do you think you're going to be down today?
I anticipate that I'll be on the bottom for at least 2.5 hours or longer. You folks will be I'll be getting off the boat before you folks are rigged up. And after you guys get in the water, you'll do a dive, and then you'll come up and you'll have lunch, take an hour break. You'll rig up again and do another dive. Usually after you've done all that, I will wander up.
And then, how do people see your work? Like, you have a $25,000 camera over there. How can we go see your work? Is it on YouTube?
Actually, I have a small store on Front Street in Lahaina, Whalers Lock. It's in the middle of town, and I have a video running on the wall in there all the time.
Can you buy it?
No, you cannot. I don't share my video with anyone other than
People walk in the store.
Well, that, and I share some of the information with the research community. I don't have a very high opinion of the product that National Geographic and the Science Channel and
Why is that?
Discovery. Well, the way they portray large, dangerous, predatory animals is really not accurate. You don't really get to see on TV in these shows what sharks look like under natural conditions, and I specialize in filming them and studying them under natural conditions. They can't access.
Are you going down once a week, twice a week?
I try to dive twice a week. Sometimes I get to dive more. I'll dive out in the channel of the Black Coral Grounds, which is much deeper. And continue. I'm doing pretty much the same.
Do you ever go with anyone or just by yourself?
95% of the time I'm just alone.
Is there a reason for that?
For me, it's safer. I don't have to keep track of someone else and look out for someone else's safety. Generally speaking, open circuit divers like what you see here on the boat have no clue what I'm using or how to operate it. So if something happened to me down there, they not only wouldn't be able to save me, they would probably kill me. So the art of self-rescue is the only way to go.
So 50 years you've been diving?
Well over 50 years. I was by the time I was 17 years old, I was a well-seasoned professional black coral diver.
And so how many hours have you been under the water? Do you know how many days, months you're
I haven't got a clue. I lost track of my dive time and dive count back in 1959 or 60.
So what advice do you give to novice divers like me?
Have fun and keep learning. There's no experts out there. They're all the dead ones.
Thanks, Bob. I appreciate it very much.
But you guys are going to experience a wonderful adventure here. This is one of the rarest places in the world to dive. Of course, I can't guarantee that you're going to see anything at all, but if you're going to see cool stuff, this is where it's going to be. Any place else you go in the world, you spend thousands of dollars, and it takes a week or two to get there and get back. Here it's $200 and 40 minutes from the harbor. That's like free.
I feel lucky. I feel lucky you're on the boat to learn from you, so that's great.
Well, good. Like I say, I think sometimes they let me come out and do this strictly because I'm entertaining for the customers.
So you're awesome. Okay, thanks,
What
Bob.
an amazing guy Bob is. And then Elliot, our captain, tells us a story about how the sharks fool us.
What does the shark do? Come on. She sends out the little ones ahead of you. Then she comes in behind you and she smiles.
And she's licking her lips.
Oh, she's got a tongue, she can lick her lips. I got you where I want you, and now I'm gonna eat you.
So if the sharks don't get you, the water will, because what happened was the second dive team, they just got caught in some very bad currents and got taken around the other side of the islands by these treacherous rocks. Watch how close they are to the rocks here. They'll appear here in just a minute on the side of the camera, the left-hand side, and you'll see just what we were up against. There they are right there. And the tide, the current was just horrendous. We finally got them over to a safe side of the boat, and they got onto the rope, and we just pulled them in. And so what happens is they get you in a single file line, and they just pull you in one by one so we can maintain order and everyone stays together. And needless to say, these guys were hammered, tired. They were in the water for a half hour to 45 minutes out of air. But we all came out of it alive, and we were able to pick up Bob with no problem. And I got an exit interview with Bob on the way back. And you can see just how crazy the seas are.
Torn off, sliced off. I don't know how another shark can cut it off or what. But I've been tracking it for a number of months, and I've dove with it several times. I've even escorted it up into the
So
cleaning
what Bob's
stations
doing right now is he's telling us about a shark that has its whole lower jaw ripped off in a
get
fight.
cleaned out by
And then
fish.
he leads it up into a cleaning station to get treatment from the other fish.
So how does it
Notice how
survive
rough the water
the
is, and you can hear the tanks clanking together. It's just crazy on the trip
She
back.
came swimming up to me today just like it was old home week.
No kid.
She's just beautiful. She's in great shape.
How big?
She's about probably close to 11 feet long.
And what kind of shark?
700 pounds.
What kind of
It's
shark?
a Galapagos shark. Very large Galapagos shark. And so I got some wonderful pictures of her lower jaw, teething and things like that.
How close?
4 feet.
Any video?
Sorry?
Any video? Did
Oh,
you
yeah.
shoot a video? You
Oh,
did.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, why would I not have my camera on?
Yeah.
I can almost literally walk her back up into shallower water where I know there's a good cleaning station, and as long as I've got her interest and she's interested in staying with me, she'll get up there in that cleaning station and I'll sit there with her, and then the fish will get on her and clean out those wounds and things like that. So whether I'm helping or not, I don't know, but I hope so. I'm certainly encouraging her to stay in the areas where she's going to get the best medical treatment from her friends.
So, if you ever thought you were a good diver, think about what Bob does. We dump him off in the middle of the ocean with hammerheads all by himself, and we come and pick him up 3 hours later. Now that takes some serious wavelengths.